So I noticed actually Prakash using his watch to display the time. So I think just to be partner in crime, I'll probably take my watch out and use this smart device to be in time. Uh, good afternoon, everybody. Naval Khosla from IBM. So I think a lot talked about, we talked about the smartest city. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. So I thought probably I'll nicely settle into the presentation flow by showing this slide, but due to time crunch, I think I don't want to repeat it. But the message is here. I think people are moving to cities, and there is a lot of load on the infrastructure. So how we can make it smarter is what I thought we'll cover about. Interestingly, we heard about urban planning and other thing. And I think IBM understand that city is a microcosm of all these small system of the system. So there are transportation, energy, healthcare, telecommunication, education, public safety, and government services. All of them make actually a city is some kind of a system of system. Uh, well, if you look at our region, I think we know a lot of things, but I guess there are this data element which I picked up from some of the government sites. A lot of fuel being wasted in idling. There's energy loss. There's a crime data. All of that stuff, I think, is reiterating the fact there is a requirement for a smarter city. There's a requirement for progress. And one, I think, message we all are probably, and I think I agree with the gentleman here. Somebody mentioned about IT as enabler. Yes, so IT would be enabler. The core fundamental behind a smarter city that a lot of people talked about, those needs to be adhered. And especially the points that have been communicated in the IC context, the cities getting instrumented, they're getting interconnected, and their intelligence need to be driven across. So all of that combination actually would encompass a smarter cities and how people have done it across. So I'll probably take you through a quickly some of these slides, how it has happened across, and probably what we can do also here. So if I just look at some of the examples here, so smarter transportation, the road user charging, the electronic fare management, the integrated fare management, or the transform information management. These are some of the area I think most of the mature markets they are adopting to ensure the transports can be smarter. Well, I think we can't go into detail now, but obviously about to detect traffic patterns and professors have mentioned very comprehensive study about the use of public transportation. So all of those things would be key element of the smarter transportation. And some of the cities have already done it, Stockholm or closer to our region, Singapore Land Transport Authority. So they have used integrated fare management. I don't think I have it. Well, mine was off. I don't know. So Singapore have used it integrated fare management and also the traffic prediction tool. They have put in sensor across so they can get to know how the traffic is flowing. So these kind of transformations are happening. Similarly, in the energy and utility, the concepts of smarter grid, effectively water management, energy portal, all of that stuff are helping from the ICT perspective to make it a smart energy and utility monitoring, management, all of that stuff works across. So a city like Houston has deployed 2 million odd smarter meters, and in this case, they're controlling the energy utilization across. Similarly, Dong Energy in Denmark, they use some monitoring device across, and you can see the numbers. The outages reduced by 50 odd percent and maintenance investment by 90%. Healthcare is another area I think that demands transformation. So, and that's a universal problem also, the patient record, electronic patient record, or health information framework, so integration of patient record, all of that stuff actually demand the requirement of the IT across. Consumer portal, disease surveillance, and it has been done across by many areas in France. It has been done around in Spain. People have. I'm just rushing through some of the examples here. The telecommunication, I think Prakash ji covered initially about the requirement of being interconnected, the smarter broadbands, and the need for it is obviously known. So I'm just taking you through some of the other stuff. Education, where smarter classrooms and smarter administration, innovation, and research are the areas where IT is being helping. Let me go through public safety. I think let me spend a couple of minutes here because that's an important aspect in that, and I see a lot of work also happening in our country in police modernization projects like CCTNS and other intelligence-based projects. So in a smarter public safety, I think biggest value I think the IT can bring in terms of the data analytics. So obviously data is being collected, though in our region there are work going on to get the data automation and digitization. But as a value add, I think a lot of analytics, lot of data protection, all of that can help in the crime protection, and that's been used across by many police departments. New York Police Department is the prime example, where they use data warehouse and data criminal investigation tools. Similarly, City of Madrid has used the emergency response center. So I actually attended, in fact, Prakash, you also there fortnight back, even in Mumbai, where emergency operation centers kind of tools are needed for city emergency response center. So those are the area I think client transformation is needed. And obviously, we are all talking about the government services, citizen-based improvement, state portals, the case management, service delivery, social services. All of those are the areas of the candidate for the smarter government services. So I just talk about the basic building blocks here, where these fundamentals need to be in place to be on the road of being a smarter city. This is an important chart, I don't know if you can see here, but it shows the progression of a smarter city. So first level, I think the data information need to be there. Second, obviously, how can I make an integrated view of it? And then obviously at the end of it, leverage all those case management and the consolidated view. So we may not be at the moment at the third layer, the second layer. It could be the first layer that we are in. And that's what probably we should do it at the beginning of it. And eventually maybe we are looking at the integrated operation center or integrated smarter city control room. If we have that level of integration, connectivity, though still we talk about out of silos. So by this, just examples of a city mayor can have a view of the entire city. So how the water consumption is going, how energy consumption, how traffic is flowing, maybe the public safety is an area that are part of the KPI. So this tells you what's happening, where it is happening, a lot of GIS-based linking is there, who is working on it, all of that stuff of who, where, and what is happening, kind of a dashboard can be presented from the city point of view. So, Prakash, am I on time?
Yeah, very much. Thank you very much.
So I'll just finish off with, I think, this example I'm skipping. This is an example of City Operations Center, how we can do it. But it talks about largely about the integration, about if there is a water blockade somewhere, it can work around with the transport, it can work around with the other teams, so how can it fix immediately. And at the end, maybe companies like IBM can work with the government in terms of sharing the best practices and whatever work we have done. So I think with this, I'll probably stop and let others peer speakers to speak. Thank you very much.